Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. We out here, man. I'm trying to pump these stories out for y'all, man, in the midst of COVID, man. Y'all know I'm still rumbling with it, you know. I'm undefeated, so it can't do nothing to me. I'm gonna whoop this too, you know. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm trying to drop these stories on y'all. I'm just giving y'all things that pops up in my mind. And I've been reading the comments lately, man, and people told me they wanted part 2 of Gangsters Creepin, you know, which was a crazy video. I appreciate the love. That video got a lot of views. And I'm going to do a part 2 to that. But in the meantime, while thinking about doing that and reading that comment, I thought about, you know, why not do a video about, you know, COs caught creeping. Because there was a lot of COs that got caught creeping too, man, in my bit and in my time. You know, I've seen a lot of COs get caught up, you know, trying to do their thing, man. And a lot of them, they come in there and, you know, they come in there with the mentality and they already taught. They already schooled, they already told not to pay us any attention, to look at us as subhumans, to look at us as con artists, to look at us as gay, to look at us as, you know, just somebody that would just mess their life up. So they get all of that implanted in their head before they even take you know, their post on the job. And with all that being said, man, you got to always factor in the fact that they are human. And you're not going to tell me you're going to put a woman in a place of employment with thousands of men, all different shades, colors, sizes, body types, whatever, you know, have you, and they're not going to find somebody attractive. You know, I find that to be unbelievable, you know. But they would tell you that. You know, I've had CO women tell you off the top, they'll say, oh, well, I ain't attracted to nobody that's locked up, or, you know, or, yeah, this ain't, nah, I would never mess with a dude locked up, or that ain't my thing, or blah, blah, blah. But then they'll turn around and you will see them a year or two later and they done got caught up, you know, messing with an inmate. You know, but this was the same person that told you that they would never, you know. So, like I say, you never know what may happen, man. And never rule anything out when you're dealing with prison, because always when you're in prison, anything is possible, man. Anything is possible. The impossible is possible in prison, because that's just how crazy the environment is. And I can remember, like I say, from day one. I think the first, I don't know, man, because I guess, you know, even in the jail, man, I seen dudes getting at CO nurses and, you know, getting nurses' phone numbers, you know, getting female sheriff's phone numbers, and you know, writing back and forth and trading letters and stuff. And you know, I left there and went to Southampton Receiving, went from there to the Wall. I can remember in the Wall, man, you had a whole lot of women in there. They them women in the Wall, they was tricking and trading. You know, they was taking currency for some affection, man. You know, so some of them got caught up. You know, some of them got caught. You know, but they definitely was into that while I was in the Wall. But I can remember the first real incident. I would probably say the first real incident where I seen somebody get caught up was at Augusta, when I told y'all about that before in one of my stories about my homeboy named Snyder, who was locked up from up my way for a charge that he didn't commit and was doing all this time, who eventually got exonerated when the DNA test came out. But before then, he just doing time. You know, he's just locked up. And he don't know what his fate may be. His fate is his sentence until anything may transpire. So at that time, he just rolling with the punches and going through what he going through. But I can remember being on there, man, and Snyder ended up Snyder ended up pulling, like I told y'all before, man, probably the prettiest woman on the compound, man. And her name was Santiago, which he turned out ended up marrying the bro. He ended up marrying her. She stayed with him until she got some people to fight his case or whatnot, and the DNA and everything came up, and he ended up getting out, and then he was with her, and then, you know, whatever happened with them on the street. Yeah, there's a lot of stories with that, so I ain't gonna get into that because I can't confirm or deny that. But I know during the time that she was locked up, he was locked up, she was the baddest woman on the camp as far as physicality and looks and everything. She was a beautiful woman. She was a mixed woman, man. She had a lot of family members that worked there or whatnot. And she was so good looking and stand out from the regular COs that the average dude would have felt like he wouldn't even have no chance with her because of his position being locked up. But Snyder was a slick old dude, man, and evidently he felt like he could shoot a shot at her, and he did, and he ended up having her. And before it was all over with, everybody knew that they was jive messing around. So when that goes on, it's just a matter of time before the administration gonna know what's going on as well. And once the administration get wind of it, you know, the gig is up anyway. It's over. You know what I'm saying? They just plotting to catch you. They plotting to get you. And as I told y'all, I know I told this story in one of my stories before, but they eventually found out, man, and she had went to the cell one time and went in the room with him or whatnot, and somebody had told her. They had it all planned. They was waiting to catch her, and they ended up coming to the cell while she was in the cell. They opened the door, brought her out the cell with him. She just walked off the compound, told her she don't want to hurt nothing or anything. She resigned, she quit. They walked off the compound. They locked Snyder up. You know what I'm saying? They ended up transferring Snyder. She went to see where Snyder was. You know, they got together again. She was getting approved visits after her fight with the administration. She got approved for a visit. They got to visiting each other, and then they eventually got married. She went up to, Northern Virginia, moved in with Snyder, them people, and started help fighting his case and started getting people to get him out, you know what I'm saying, to prove his innocence or whatnot, which they were successful in doing. And Snyder ended up getting proved innocent, got out, he got a good settlement, and, you know, so on and so forth. That's like the first incident that I can remember a female officer or somebody like that getting caught, you know, creeping with an inmate, you know, and they come in all forms. I mean, they come in all forms. I done seen nurses get caught. I done seen CO men get caught. Yes, I said men get caught. I done seen counselors get caught up. I mean, you name it. You know, it happens in the penitentiary because, like I say, we all are human. Even though they look at us as subhuman, we still human. And we all have human emotions, human feelings, and I mean, that don't change. You know, no matter what brainwashing they try to put in these people, when they get in there, they actually realize that we are human, you know, and if they get to talking to us and conversating with us and sharing time with us, and then some of them, like I say, they ended up getting caught up and, man, they get in situations that they can't get out of. I told y'all about the incident as well about, I remember when I was on Greensville, it was a female that I knew. I actually knew this female on the street, and I told y'all that she ended up coming over there, seeing me, and you know, let me know she was there. And I told her, you know, I'm here, whatever. I knew this female on the street. I actually had dealings with this females on the street in my youth, in my teenage years, because, you know, I was locked up so long. But I had dealings with this female on the streets in my youth. This female ended up working on the other side of the compound where I was and got involved with an inmate. And she was so deep involved with the inmate that, you know, they had their little system set up where they was doing what they do and getting away with it or whatnot until they won't. You know what I'm saying? They ended up getting caught. She done went in the cell with him. They done did whatever they do. And she done got so comfortable and so relaxed, she done fell asleep. She actually fell asleep in the cell. You heard me? And get away from me, Corona. She fell asleep in the cell, and they called the administration and told her that she was in the cell. So they come around there and actually come to the cell and knock on the door while she in there asleep. She wakes up, get herself together, comes out, you know, get walked off the compound, get fired or whatnot, dude get locked up, this, that, or the third. But whatever boy put on her, he put it on her enough where she got so comfortable, she done fell asleep and forgot that she at work and she don't even supposed to be up in nobody's cell, period, let alone up in somebody's cell, up in the bed and sleep. So it goes down, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it seems unreal. It is real. This is real stuff, real life stories, and real things that transpired in prison. And like I say, over the years, I've seen it all. I've seen women come in there, man, and get involved with a dude so much, man. I done seen dudes get caught with CO panties. I done seen COs get caught with notes on them, on their person. You know, somebody tell and they shake the female down and find notes that she been writing back and forth to inmates. All types of things, man, you know. And then you get some females, they come in there, they flirt with inmates so much, and they flirt with so many different type of inmates that they mess around and have dudes beefing with each other over who trying to get with this woman. Because there's only a limited supply of women, because there ain't too many of them that's messing with inmates. So the ones that are, everybody is trying to get the same woman. You know, so being that this a woman, she love all the attention, and you know, sometimes she play on that, and that causes a whole lot of confusion on the compound. You done had dudes that, man, I told you when I was on Mecklenburg, Derek will tell you, when I was on Mecklenburg, Derek S, he would tell you, man, salute to you, Derek S out there, man, from Mecklenburg. Man, they had this woman on there named, I don't even know if I should say her name, man, but, you know, she probably retired and everything now, but they had this woman on there named FN. He know who I'm talking about. Man, this woman had so many dudes in a frenzy because she flirted with so many dudes and played so many games with dudes, man. Dudes don't got the rumbling, fighting, beefing, setting each other's cells on fire, ready to stab each other, slice each other with razor blades all over this woman, and couldn't neither one of them have her. But this was just her sex appeal and her flirting and playing with guys that would get dudes in these type of emotional states because they felt like they can have her, but this dude was in the way. He feel like he can have her, but you in the way. So it's just crazy situations that goes on in prison, man. And it's all because dudes in prison they suffering from lack of affection, lack of emotion, lack of human contact, female contact. So when they think they can have it, you know, they willing to move mountains to get it, you know, and that's how it goes down. But you see some of the craziest things in the world in prison, man, when it comes to relationships and when it comes to staff and inmates. You know, they will act so hard and act like you so beneath them and so little, but it will always, in my opinion and from my experience, it will always be some dude or one or two dudes that you will see a female officer, she actually likes him and you can see it. But she will act so hard and so standoffish to the rest of the institution. But these particular inmates, you can see the lust, the like, the desire for this dude. And he can see it, and he ended up being the one that ended up, messing with him. And some of the incidents you can't even tell, or you would be surprised, like, oh, wait, I wouldn't even think she would pick him, but they can pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? It's like a smorgasbord for them because everybody want them because everybody in there have nobody, so they can pick and choose. And I think that puts them in a power position, in a privileged position that most times that they abuse and take advantage of. You know, because they can pick and choose who they want to mess with and then, you know, just talk crazy to the rest of the people. And it's man, I'm just sitting here trying to reminisce and think about some of the things I've seen, man. And then you have, which is another crazy dynamic, you have all of these gay men that will come and apply for jobs in the men institution. Their sole motivation is... Their sole motivation is to come in there and to be able to look at men half naked or completely naked, or to try to find a man that will mess with them on any type of level. And they would come in there, man, and I never understood why they would even hire these dudes, knowing what their ulterior motive was. Now, I'm not gonna say that would be all of their ulterior motives, but it sure did seem like it to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I've never seen a gay dude that worked in the prison system, be it as a guard, a counselor, an administration or whatever did not overly, you know, pursue men, you know what I'm saying, or say things to men, and then the ball was always in their court, because if you deny them or if you say something too aggressive to them, they can make up fictitious charges or say you did this or say you said something to them when in essence you never said anything. So you always at risk when you dealing with these type of people, because they in a power position. And man, them gay dudes and gay employees in the Virginia penal system was, man, they was the toughest to deal with, man. I'm trying to tell you now, man, because if you come off too strong in your denial, if you come off too strong in your, you know, your pushback, next thing you know, you crossed up, because they scared and nervous that you're gonna go try to report them, so they'll try to report you first. But at the same time, they'll be the first one that approach you. I can remember being on Greensville, man, in segregation. And they had a nurse back there, a male nurse, man. And this dude was literally gay as a $9 bill, man. And he would come around and pass out medicine and stop at every cell and just try to look you up and down and make all these faces. And he basically was trying to get you to flash him or something like that. Or God forbid he walked by and you was using the bathroom or something, he would just stop and just stare at you and lick on his lips and all this foolishness. He seemed to always pop up on shower day. Every day we take shower, you know, there's no curtains or nothing back there in Seg. So if anybody who comes on the tier can look straight in the shower, they would come back there and stand in the front of the shower and just be looking at the shower and acting like he waiting to pass out medicine. It was just insane, man. And then it come to find out, man, he was going around to do sales, offering dudes cash money, you know, $20 and $50 bills to, you know, masturbate and let him watch. And dudes was doing it, man. It was crazy. It was crazy as I don't know what. And he would just stand there and be doing it. So everybody back there came to the point where they knew if the gay nurse was standing in front of your cell for a long period of time and dudes be hollering, oh yeah, we know what you're doing. We know what yeah, okay, you freaking down there. And you know, it was crazy. And he was so, you know, advanced with it and so, you know, aggressive with it. The word got back out to the administration and he ended up getting fired for doing the same thing because an inmate set him up. You know what I'm saying? Inmate set him up. Inmate took the cash, you know, told him he was going to do it, didn't do it. He said something. As soon as he walked out the pod, they was waiting for him. They went to the cell, got the cash from the inmate, and knew that, you know, he had gave it to him because they set him up. You know what I'm saying? And was watching him on camera. But that's just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? They be out there, man, and it be crazy. It goes down in the penitentiary. Trust me, they be creeping too, staff and all. Yeah, staff and all, man, they be doing what they be doing, man. And the crazy part about it is when you get somebody that's in power, and all of them is in power from an officer on up, because you are the lowest on the totem pole. So when you get them people and they pursuing you or they coming at you with that foolishness, you know, it's up to you how you respond. You got to respond even if you want to deny the advances. You got to do it diplomatically, because if you do it in a way that they feel offended, then the cross is in effect. You know, they gonna cross you up. They gonna lie. They might say you made advances at them, and just them saying that alone, you getting locked up that day. You know what I'm saying? You going down that day with a serious charge. You might get a street charge. You know, sexual advances on an employee. And so they have all the power. You know what I'm saying? So even if you deny them, you have to deny them in a way where as to they feel comfortable and they don't feel like you're going to go try to report them, because if they feel that way, they're going to try to beat you to the punch. They're going to try to beat you to the punch and go report you and for something that you ain't had nothing to do with, only because they approach you. So it's a tricky game, man. It's dirty, it's vicious, man. I can remember being on Greensville too, man. They had this lieutenant. This dude that made it all the way to a lieutenant. And all the way from Southampton Receiving, dudes that been on Southampton Receiving with him know for a fact that this dude is gay as I don't know what. You know what I'm saying? How he made it to a lieutenant, I don't know. Or either they just had to promote him and they know what's going on with him and everything. But man, this dude was gay and he was off the chain, man. He would come by your door and you know, ask you to flash him or just stand there and look at you as if he was a woman and just stare at you, especially if he catch you when you was half dressed or whatnot. It was just always an awkward situation with this dude. And he had an office upstairs, so he would always have to pick an assistant, somebody to work with him. And I can remember he had this assistant, man, working with him. And everybody that he picked, everybody would always assume that whoever was working with him was with the business, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't even gonna say this dude's name, man, but this dude in particular that he had that was his assistant was also, how can I put this? He was also married to a famous, now famous, not then was famous, but now famous NBA star mother, right? He was actually married to this NBA star's mother. And he was in there on some drug charges or whatnot, but he was the assistant for this particular lieutenant. And man, you know, a lot of dudes will get caught up into that stuff too because of the perks that what they can get from it. You know, if you mess with an officer or counselor or whoever, they can bring you things that you can't have. They can, you know, give you things that you can't get, all types of things. So they avoid the reality of the situation and look at the perks of the situation. But in my opinion, you know, especially if you're dealing with somebody that's, you know, that's gay or something like that, if that's not what you into, then you not only, you know, going, you can say you're going for the perks, but at the same time, at what cost? You know, you violating your own personal principles. So I always feel like it don't matter what you say, it matter what you're doing. So if you doing it, then that's what you into anyway. That was my opinion. But this dude was working for him, and he claimed that, you know, yeah, because, you know, dude get him this, dude get him that, da 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 da. So everybody listening to that, but ain't nobody believing that, you know, in reality. They like, yeah, oh, you with that type of stuff, blah, blah, blah. So if he got that job up there like that, he get to move and travel around and be outside his cell and be in places that most people can't go because he worked for the lieutenant. Man, he also get to ride on the elevator when no inmates get to ride on the elevator, but he get to ride on the elevator if he's with a staff member. Only time you're supposed to be on the elevator is when you with a staff member. And man, they was on the elevator one day, and I guess they was going from point A to point B, and the elevator was stopped, and it just so happened that a captain that came in, and he was trying to get on the elevator, so he was waiting for the elevator, and the elevator was stuck for a long time. So I guess he put it in his mind, he gonna stay right here and he gonna see why this elevator is so stuck. And he went and got the key. They got keys to the elevator. So he went and got a key and hit the key to the elevator to make the elevator stop moving before it was, you know, the button was pushed for it to move. And lo and behold, man, the doors open and they catch the lieutenant inside of the elevator with his assistant, with the assistant with his pants down, lieutenant on his knees, male lieutenant at that, on his knees, doing his thing, and bingo bongo, man, he fired. You know what I'm saying? He fired. He up out of there. He got caught creeping. You see what I'm saying? And this is a male lieutenant in a male prison getting caught with another male dude, you know, doing what he doing. So how long has this been going on? How many times had he done this before he got to the point where he was a lieutenant? Countless amount of times. Countless amount of times. But this just was the time that he got caught. So he gave up his career, he gave up his pension and everything to do what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Dude ended up going to jail, you know, ended up getting transferred, this, that, and the third. Whole lot of people on the compound talking about him. Man, I knew it, I told y'all, you know, that's why he was working up there. I told y'all, man, that dude a freak, and blah, blah, blah. You know, that's how it's going to go down. That's the way the story is going to be told. And there's a whole lot of truth to it, you know what I'm saying? But he could say I had the job because he bring me this, he be doing that for me, you know, yeah, man, but you compromising your whole manhood and your whole principles to get some little perks. You know, that's how desperate some people get when they're in prison, because they have nothing, so they compromise everything to get something. You know what I'm saying? Don't understand it. Don't want to try to understand it. People do what they want to do, and I don't judge. Do what you got to do. But this is what goes down in prison, man, every day, man, on a regular basis. I have never been on any institution where some CO, some staff member have not got caught up with messing with an inmate. Never. It happens on every institution all over the VA, and I'm sure all over the country. You know what I'm saying? There's no way around it because you got male and female together, and they separated only by status. But you know, the attraction is still there. The law of attraction is real, you know, and it's just a matter of which one of them want to step over the line and how far they willing to step over the line. But then you have women that come in there and that be their whole agenda. They have had so much bad luck on the street with men that they say, I'm gonna come in prison and find me a man. I'm gonna find me a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find me someone who fits, you know, my criteria, what I want. They can pick and choose because when they come in there, they know everybody is desperate. Everybody is, you know, without love and without affection, you know, as far as the intimate love and the intimate affection. So they use that to their advantage. And they pick and choose who they like and who they want to mess with. But at the same time, like I told y'all, you always at risk because they can always flip the script on you and you ain't gonna have no defense for yourself. They hold all the cards and all the power. You know what I'm saying? They hold all the cards and all the power. And over the years, I've seen it displayed at every level, man. Every level, you know. And like I say, when I see it, I always, you know, look at it and I always been in awe because most of the people that you see, the females that get caught up with dudes, the dudes that they get caught up with, you would be like, oh, I knew if she was going to pick somebody, I did not think it was going to be him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't, you know, but it's an old piece of philosophy that says women and the men they love will forever be a mystery to the world. You know what I'm saying? So we can't see what someone else see. We can't understand what someone else understand. We can't judge a person for what they like and what they do because who knows who like what and when and where. You know, it may work for them, but from the outside looking at that, you be like, oh man, I can't even see that. But it happens, man. It goes down. It goes down a lot. And I've seen it a lot, man. And I've seen it in ways that you wouldn't imagine. Even just like I say with the men, they get caught up messing with the men COs that get caught up messing around with dudes. I've seen females get caught up messing with dudes. I've seen nurses get caught up messing with dudes. I've seen counselors get caught up messing with dudes. And I think one of the craziest things I've seen, and I had not seen this in 33 years of being locked up. Right before I made parole, I was on Nottaway. And while I was on Nottaway, they ended up hiring a transgender officer, right? And when they say transgender, we talking about they actually have had surgery and all this and all that and lived their life as a woman, but in actuality, they was born as a man. So they hired this transgender officer. And the officer that they hired that was transgender ended up working in our block. Now, dudes was looking at this. Dudes was looking, and it's crazy. I'm telling you, this is some crazy stuff, man. You can't make it up. Dudes looking at this person knowing that this is a transgender, but they look like a woman. They got breasts and all this and all that. And they look like a woman, but they have got the information, the intel that this is actually a man and should be addressed as a woman. You know what I'm saying? Professionally. Because that's the transition that they made in their life. But the information has been given out there that this is actually a man. Man, you had dudes in there, man. Man, you had dudes in there that was doing everything, man. Dudes was trying to talk to the people. Dudes was trying to get in the shower and flash them and gunning them. And dudes was trying to write them letters and all types of other stuff. And the transgender officer was acting hard and standoffish and mean and like, you know, because I think they knew that information was out there, and I think that they felt on the defensive from the get-go, you know, so they was real mean and real aggressive, you know. And I can remember going up to the booth one time, and y'all should know by my YouTube, people have already, you know, criticized me, jumped on me and said I say man a lot, which I know I say man a lot, and I told y'all why I say man a lot, because I was around a lot of men and I started using the word man to take the N word out of my vocabulary. So instead of saying, you know, I always say man, You know what I'm saying? Look, man, I'm trying to tell you, man, you know, and that's why I use the word a lot. So with that being said, I remember I going to the booth one day when this transgender was in there and I was trying to get a request for him. So they said, hold on. I said, all right, man. So when I said, all right, man, they got offended. As if I was calling them a man, when in actuality, you are biologically a man. But I wasn't saying it in that tone. I wasn't saying it in that reference. So they got mad at me and said, what you call me? And I was like, I said, excuse me, I didn't call you a man. That's just the way I talk. That's my language or whatever. But don't be calling me no man. And, and if you want something, you come up here with respect and all this and all that. And see, these incidents like this, you got to humble yourself. Because you already know you can't win. Because whatever they say or they get an attitude against you and they say something foul against you or you said this or you threaten them or they feel threatened, boom, you go to jail. So I started off on the wrong foot with the person just by trying to get me a request form. So I was like, okay, I apologize. It won't like that. You know what I'm saying? Just let me get the request form. I appreciate it. Officer such and such. You know what I'm saying? So I made it a mental note in my mind not to address them as nothing but officer in their last name. You see what I'm saying? But as I'm looking at them, like, to stay away from them, because the only thing I see dealing with them, period, is trouble. You know what I'm saying? Chaos, confusion. Man, you had dudes that was doing everything they can to try to get with these people, man. And they was being, you know, coming out the closet. You could see them like, oh, man, I ain't know you was into that. But yet at the same time, every time you see them, they up at the booth smiling and cheesing and up there talking to the people and trying to, you know, trying to get cool with them, trying to get familiar with them. Now, you got a lot of dudes that use a lot of excuses of why they was trying to holler at them, because you got some dudes that say they feel like in their mind that being that this a transgender, that they can manipulate them. They can get some drugs in. They can talk them into bringing in the package and this, that, and the third. That's what they would tell you. But who knows? Who knows what you really was trying to get from them? Only you. Yeah.